Well, how to level up your web presence. Okay, so now you guys just see Google and just the slide, not all of my notes, right?
Yep, you're all good. Go for it.
Perfect. All right. Well, like it or not, to be successful online, you must build a relationship with Google. We do know that this is complicated for some of you who don't want a relationship with Google, but it is necessary. Google is the primary search engine and the only one that matters. Let me just move this. Okay. Hold on, getting situated. All right, so I'm not distracted by the faces that I can see. Okay, so Google's the primary search engine and it is the only one that matters. You'll score what we call the Google points by maintaining a user-friendly and informative website that helps your visitors. You also do this by committing to the process of building your business. A good analogy to online success is joining a gym. You won't just pay the enrollment in the first month's fee and then wonder in month 2 why you're not seeing results. Much like fitness, a high-performing website requires care, attention, patience, and commitment. Search engine love does not come overnight. It can take months and years of work to see steady and solid results. The highest performing websites in HomeGauge's SEO program have been with us for anywhere from 3 to 5+ years. So for this presentation, we're going to talk about, well, I'm going to go back to the intro slide that I skipped over because I was started late. So we're just going to mix this up. It'll be fun. So I'm the director of web services, and Dan, who is joining us, the famous Dan Conerd, is our senior web developer, and he manages all of the hosted sites and helps all of the customers that host with us to make updates to their sites. Okay, so now we're going to move on and we'll go in order. So first, we're going to review the basics, and then we'll dig a little deeper into how you can level up your web presence. Okay, the basics. Get your business online. First things first, your business is your virtual storefront. So every service-based local business must be online to compete. 93% of consumers first look online to find a local business. That's 93% in that little circle. So we may as well round that up to everyone. Hire a professional to design your logo and to build your web page or your website. While there are DIY web building tools out there, your visitors will know when you've used one. Your DIY site is less likely to attract and retain visitors than one that is built by experts in search engine optimization, web development, graphic design, and user experience. There's a reason why home and RV owners don't conduct our own inspections. It's because we don't have the experience or the qualifications to do the job right. Instead, we hire and trust the pros to provide this service. 75% or 3/4 of visitors will judge a business's credibility on how it looks online. Because of this, it is vital that you build your website for the people that are visiting your website. Don't do these things to your site. Get rid of them if you're guilty. Your webpage is your storefront. If a brick and mortar store in your area set up shop 5-10 years ago, never replenished inventory or made updates to their space, they're going to lose business to a newer store that does those things. So the elements that we've listed on this slide are just a few of the don'ts, the most important don'ts that we could possibly fit on a single slide. While some of these may seem minor, like font choices, colors, clip art, and images, users expect a certain look and a certain experience. An older, dated site gives visitors an uncomfortable experience without the tools and the cues that they need to easily view and navigate your website. For instance, If your site was an old car, the customer would continue looking for a newer model with current and familiar features that fit their expectations. We hear all the time from home and RV inspectors that their site is just fine, still gets me business, even though it's 5+ years old, with most of the don'ts listed on this slide. So I'm here to ask you, is just fine okay? Because you need to be exceptional to compete. An older website simply tells customers that you don't invest in your business and that you don't prioritize their needs or their experience. You simply can't turn on the lights and walk away and expect your website to be successful. This isn't the field of dreams where you build it and they will come. There are over 250,000 websites that launch every day. So that comes out to about 175 websites per minute. You absolutely have to do the work to stay on top of the game, to succeed, and to stay relevant. You have to pay attention to, maintain, and keep your web presence fresh and current to level up and earn customers online. Industry experts will tell you, and I'm one of those people, so is Dan, that it's best to build a new website every 2 to 3 years in order to keep up with technology and to provide the best user experience. As a service-based business, most of you don't pay for rent or office space, utilities, anything like that. So your website hosting and SEO expenses are likely far less than if you were to pay rent and utilities each month. In fact, with some web providers, HomeGauge included, a single home or RV inspection will more than cover your monthly website expenses, even if you're doing SEO with us. So what are the best practices for web design? I wouldn't just leave you with the don'ts. So our next slide is going to cover what matters most. Website design best practices in 2022, or things that Google likes. So we'll start with clear and consistent branding, and minimal content. So first and foremost, hire someone to design your logo. A professional logo sets the tone for your site and all of your related marketing materials. Carefully consider the use of space. The fewer distractions on your site, the better. Whether it's the use of white design or contrast, clear typography, a well-designed website makes navigation easy and provides accurate information, makes a good user experience. I've mentioned user experience a few times. It's because that is what matters the most to Google, and that's what's going to help your website rank and for you to get business. Well-designed calls to action, or CTAs, give visitors an easy way to contact you. So to text, call, fill out a contact form, schedule an inspection, request a service. You should have CTAs placed strategically throughout your site to encourage action. So these are the buttons you see: call now, schedule inspection now, report login, text us, any of those things. You want to minimize the number of clicks that a visitor has to take in order to follow through and actually contact you and perform an action on your site. And those are called calls to action. A website needs to be responsive. It must be responsive. So as the mobile user base continues to increase, good visual effects and search experience are critical factors for web design in 2022. A responsive website is one that works properly across all devices, whether on a phone, a tablet, a desktop, or a laptop computer. Speed. So speed is everything. I'm guilty of visiting a website, and if it is slow to load, I will leave it. Most other visitors and users are the same, and Google knows this. So Google ranks websites better that load faster. Users would rather have a fast loading page than see animation, hear audio, or view a ton of images on your website. All of these features will slow your load time. Your site must be user-friendly. When you have a professionally branded site that has concise information, is responsive across devices, and loads quickly, you won a pretty big chunk of the battle. Now you just have to make sure your content is worth reading. Great content. So great content is something that is hugely important for Google and will always be the foundation of whether or not a site is successful and gains attention and visits. A visitor should be able to quickly skim your site, know what services you offer, your service area, how to take the next step with your company via a variety of calls to action, which we discussed earlier, or CTAs. Add fresh content regularly. Blogs are a great way to do this. Remember that you want content that the community finds helpful and will likely need or share. We found with our SEO customers that what we call in-house HGTV blogs are consistently more successful than inspection-specific blogs. So a blog on, say, improving curb appeal or fall home maintenance, or ways to spring cleaning and organizing. Oh my goodness, in January, organizing your closets, it's huge. So these consistently get more clicks, and a click is a visit to your site, and a visit to your site tells Google that your site is relevant and people are going to it. You want that activity. So they consistently get hundreds of more clicks than a blog on home ventilation or sewer scope inspections. So your goal with content and your website is to help your visitors. To do so, you have to deliver the content that they want to read. So I believe Dan is up next with slide number 6. I'm going to turn this over to him, and he's going to elaborate on how you can make Google work for you to level up your web presence.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Oh, I think it has little clickies on it.
You can just click all of them. Click them all.
I'm clicking all of them.
There we go.
Look at that. It's
All right.
magical. Okay.
So since we know the majority of all searches,
Sorry. Okay.
so since we know the majority of all searches happen on Google, which makes your Google business profile one of the first things that a potential customer might see about your business. And without a business profile, you won't show up in the search results until after the business listings, and thus missing out on those potential customers. Your business profile will give potential customers all of the information they need to decide whether your company is right for them. It leads them to your website. It gives the hours and your contact information, as well as any customer reviews submitted to Google. It's essential to make sure your profile is up to date and accurate so customers can easily find you when they need your services. For most users, the Google business profile and the reviews are the only information a potential customer might use to vet a company before actually calling them. If you don't have a profile set up, you aren't even being considered by the vast majority of people searching. If you haven't already, start by claiming your business on Google today and make sure that you're updating it as needed. And for my bonus tip, and one that can make a world of a difference for your potential customers that are viewing your Google profile, is by adding your own photos to that profile. You can easily post photos to your profile just like you would for Facebook or Instagram. If you recently had an inspection that you want to show off, post it to your Google profile. Google loves it when you use their products, and they reward those that do, even if it's only a couple photos a month. Go to the next slide, Carla.
Oh, sure thing.
There we go. And that's you
This is me.
Perfect.
Okay, so back to me. Thanks, Dan. So using Google reviews to level up, we're going to start talking about reviews, and I'm going to kick it off with this slide. First of all, you're going to need to set your service area. This will help people find you in local searches such as home inspector near me or home inspection nearby. It's important that you respond to each review, good and bad. A simple personalized "Thank you for your business, Ms. Homebuyer" is all that's needed. These responses matter to Google. Don't be argumentative if you get a bad review. This happens to every business, and users expect to see the occasional bad review. What matters is that you have more good reviews than bad ones. If you do get a bad review, respond promptly and thank them for their feedback. Empathize with their experience and encourage them to contact you with any further comments, concerns, or suggestions. The quickest way to diffuse a situation and balance a negative review is by keeping your cool and being kind. When potential customers see your calm response to a negative review, they'll believe you're reasonable, sympathetic, and care about your customers, even that one who gave you a poor review. Both the quality and the quantity of your reviews impact how Google ranks your website. So, do your best work, ask for reviews, and respond to each review professionally and promptly. I can't reiterate enough how important Google reviews are for your local search. I believe it was on the last slide, but it can account for up to 20%. So if the quarter, fifth of your traffic can come from, or how you rank with Google can come from your Google reviews. So it's absolutely critical that you do things with them. So I'm going to turn it over to Dan. So he's going to talk more about how to leverage those reviews online to help you boost your web presence.
So as we mentioned, Google reviews are number one. That's just the facts. And you may receive reviews on Yelp or Redfin or HomeAdvisor or any of the other million websites out there, but none of them compare to what they can do for you than the reviews that you receive to your Google business profile. A great way to showcase those reviews is by placing them right on your website. We can install the official Google Reviews widget that can be placed on its own reviews page or directly on the homepage for your website. And the best part of the widget is that it also includes a Review Us Google link. And that takes your customer directly to the exact location to leave a business review. My second bonus tip is one of the easiest things that you can do to post to your social networks, and that is to share those reviews. Here are two examples highlighting a review that could be shared on Facebook, Instagram, or any of the other social networks that you're currently utilizing. Next slide. And then I also want to quickly mention that the HomeGauge web team now has an official Instagram account where we offer tips and tricks regarding all things related to websites, SEO, social media marketing, and more. And not to mention Dad Joke Wednesdays. Follow us at HomeGauge Web Services, or for those that are staying ahead of the social media trends, you can also follow us for some laughs and home inspection nightmares on TikTok at HomeGauge Web Services, and also have a chance to be featured on our account.
Cool. So yes, HomeGauge Web Services is on the interwebs. Definitely follow those. There are lots of good information. Okay, so this is a really important slide. If people were attending hoping we give you all the on-site tricks, there's not that many on-site tricks. A lot of the leveling up your web presence is what you do off of your website. We've got you covered as far as your website's concerned. There's still a lot of work that you need to do outside of that. So you have to build relationships to level up. We're going to talk about how you can level up your web presence by being a human in the world. We know that the inspection industry is tough right now, but there are lots of opportunities to be creative. Take a look at what your competitors are doing. With more people waiving inspections to get their offers accepted, some inspectors have started offering post-purchase inspections. Now, of course, we all know that this is just a complete regular home inspection. But when you market it as post-purchase, get the word out with your contacts and add it to your website, you have a good chance of standing out in your market for what is seen as a unique service and one that is needed, because there's a ton of people who are not getting home inspections right now. Take it further and write a blog about it. Share and boost ads on social media and offer a discount for each referral. Offer a recurring home maintenance inspection plan so you're locked in for repeat business with your customers. Over the past few years, short-term property rentals have surged as people work remotely and can work from anywhere more than ever before in our history. Is there an opportunity there? You bet there is. We're seeing a lot of things around that. There are inspectors who are offering quarterly home maintenance inspections for Airbnbs and other property management companies. Some of these contracts include monthly inspections and even cover maintenance services like changing out air filters. Other inspectors are offering winterizing services for homes with monthly on-site check-ins for as long as the property sits vacant. Don't limit yourself to just traditional inspections for buyers and sellers. There are lots of other ways you can use your experience to succeed and grow as an inspector. Be creative, join forces with peers and industry partners to see how you can work together to best serve your customers. It's a win-win when you collaborate to deliver the best experience. Don't limit your business by being overtly political or religious. Focus instead on how you can best serve everyone who needs your company's services. Little League is mentioned on this slide because it's a minimal investment that pays out over time, and I've seen it across industries in the past 25 years that I have been working with various people, either in the print industry or in the web industry, which has now been about 20 years. When you spend a few $100s to sponsor a Little League team in your area, your logo and company name is out front in front of countless families in the community for months. They'll recall both your name and the fact that you supported their kids' Little League team when they or their friends are house hunting or in the market for an inspector. Added benefit of doing this is that when you sponsor a local organization, their websites list sponsors and will link back to your website. This is called a backlink. Backlinks are also important for SEO and help give your domain authority with Google. Finally, bring free food. Never underestimate the power of feeding people. It works every time. There are so many opportunities to connect, just to get out there and, find ways to get repeat business with people you've inspected homes for, with your previous customers. Ask for referrals, ask for those reviews, and make connections, because everyone wants to work together to make things easier, and you have a common goal. So that's about it. Recap and takeaways. So we'll go over this real quickly. So website should be current and redesigned every 2 to 3 years. Your branding, mobile-friendly design, site speed, user experience, and great content are essential factors for ranking with search engines. The content of your site and the way that it appears and the experience that the visitor has on it is, aside from Google reviews, it's probably the most important thing that you can do, is to have a great foundation and a great website to begin with. Set up your Google business page and ask every customer for a review. They are the most important to get for SEO purposes. Be sure to respond to every review that you get, good and bad, and share the reviews on other social media channels. Be sure to build those relationships with industry partners, agents, the community, your customers. Join relevant Facebook groups. I think it was on the last slide, but I didn't touch on it. That is a huge way just to establish trust and connections with people. If there's agents that you work with, like their pages. If there are, if you're an RV inspector and you get referrals, or an RV tech and you get referrals, you can from a certain group or dealership. Connect with them on Facebook. You want to be a resource. People want to be helped. And you're going to be most successful when you're the person who is providing helpful content and resourceful articles and giving them a website that allows them to easily find information that they need, whether it's your blogs or whether it's your services or scheduling an inspection or calling you or texting you. All of that matters. And if you don't have those tools that customers expect, they'll find someone who does, and they'll find a site that is clear and they can do all of that.